Welcome everyone to EX Area, the Shadowverse Evolve podcast brought to you by ourselves, the Shadowverse Evolve English Edition ambassadors. I am DifferentFight or Chris, and this is Igni. We will be your hosts for today as usual, and it's a welcome back because it's been a hot minute since the last episode as we got pretty busy, I guess, with Worlds Beyond coming out. We did allude to that in the last episode a fair bit, but I guess we got busier than we expected.
Yeah, I mean, I think nobody can fault Shadowverse players for playing the new Shadowverse.
Yeah, right.
But honestly, it's a good time to be back because a lot of the product they announced on the English side, at least, has been pretty exciting. And I've been playing a lot more as well. But as usual, of course, this podcast is split into two halves. On Chris's side, we're going to be talking about the Japanese edition news and reviews. And on my side, the English stuff. So if you're listening on Spotify or any of the audio platforms, though, it'll all be stitched into one thing. So don't you worry about it.
Exactly.
All right, Chris. I mean, how have you been experiencing Evolve so far in these intervening 4 months, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hot minute. I really enjoyed set 16. That was the Worlds Beyond set. I basically found a new favorite deck, which is 7-cost Dragon. That's been good ever since then. I entered a championship with it, a team championship, and we just like stumbled our way into top 16 and then won that game and then won the top 8 game, then won top 4, and then before we knew it, we won finals. So I managed to win a CS this year, I guess. That's like a nice thing to check off the yearly checklist, I guess. So that was really nice. And then I didn't really play in the Idolmaster format too much, and I guess since we talk about that, we might as well talk about how things have been while going over the releases. So we had the Idolmaster set come out in August, and I'm pretty sure the weekend when this came out, we had Bushi Expo, I think, in Singapore was this weekend of this EX set for Idolmaster. So it supported a bunch of decks. The main thing was that it like created a Anastasia searcher. So Forest got a huge buff from that. But then the existing like cool, cute passion decks from the original Idolmaster set also got supported, and they performed pretty well. But I haven't like actually played against the new Idolmaster decks at all. Like I've only literally just played against Forest with the new Idolmaster cards, and that's about it. So we were both quite busy because I think September was the month where we had like a Shadowverse open every week almost, I think, right? So every weekend was booked.
So if people weren't aware, alongside being your English edition ambassadors, we're also the casters for Shadowverse Open, the Worlds Beyond competitive circuit in 2025, and it was pretty much every single week. We didn't even have time to breathe, really.
Yeah, but, so I was like, I don't have like every time my friends were like, "Oh, you want to go to a CS or something?" I'm sorry, I got SVO to cast. Like, so it was didn't really have much time to play during this format, and then before you knew it, September 26th came around, and Convergent Destinies released, which is a pretty popular set from the original Shadowverse because it turned the leaders into cards, and some of them were very prominently strong, especially in digital. But this set was quite cool. It created support for Machina and Natura as well, of course, and basically a lot of the cards that, you know, the leaders turned into cards ended up being very good. Like the Arisa was a just very strong, like not neutral, but like generic card for Forest. Lidica got a strong new way of doing extra damage. Erica's like token sword support, essentially. So she kind of like went up in price quite quickly as well after the release. And then Rowan, he is a Dragonic Duelist support. And the deck that is currently quite popular in Japan is Dragonic Duelist. So he's also been a very key part. And then like Luna's a quite good like 1-cost option as well. Like basically all of them, you know, had a pretty good showing. And I did get to play a little bit in this format as well. I was mostly, I picked up my Lidica parts a little bit late, so I haven't like messed around with the new Lidica stuff as much, so I was still kind of just like playing Dragon for the most part. But then Token Sword also getting good. That was like a deck that was introduced in set 16 that got some extra support in this set too, which was quite nice. So that came out in September, and I got to play a little bit during this format. But then, literally right before or right after as we're recording this at the end of November, was Evolve's first ever original booster set, which is the Toko set. So this does not exist in any other form of Shadowverse, not in the original, not in Worlds Beyond. and it is Evolve's own original set that basically is expanding on the story of Kaori from Worlds Beyond, the rune leader. And it essentially, like, you know, they had like a whole trailer and everything revealing a bunch of really cool stuff where they sort of like show all the different leaders and stuff. So each of them has their own story. They made a whole website to feature all of the stories of these characters as well. And so it's just a very cool like thing they did for Evolve, I guess. Like, it's the first, like, you know, the only character we really knew prior was Eru, because she was a leader in Worlds Beyond, and obviously she's also the most popular one of these decks too. But
yeah, we also knew Saito from you know, Edge of Paradise back in Classic, so this expands on that world as well. That was teased all the way back then. But yeah, like you said, original art just for Worlds Beyond, for Evolve, never before seen before, and they did make a website just showing the lore, and they released that actually like a month before the set even came out. So
yeah,
like a huge sort of marketing push for this set in particular. And honestly, it's like super cool to see. Like, didn't they write like whole short stories and stuff for each of these guys too? It's kind of crazy.
So all the characters have their own stories. So Roni is the forest leader, and then Shinra Kagikaze is the sword leader. Mana Shinjo is the rune one. They all have like Japanese names. Then Eru is the only one that doesn't have like a surname.
Well, it is Tokyo, I guess. So.
Yeah. And then these are the Atoranshia sisters or siblings. And then
Yose and Erze, right? Yeah.
This is what Kotaro, I think, right? Or Seishiro. Sorry, Seishiro is the rune guy. So, and then each of them have like their own like novel, so you can read their like story descriptions, and just kind of go through it. And then they have like a whole prologue for the entire story, and it's very, very long.
Crazy.
So you can just, you know, hit the Google Translate and read through this. It's quite cool.
Just practice Japanese, man. That's the only way to
practice
do it.
Japanese, exactly. You want to read Eru's story? There's literally 23 pages of it. There's 23 pages of her story here. So you can read through everything, and it goes over like all the followers in the deck as well, that are in the set. So she even has like cute little emojis. Look at that.
I feel like there's no way this doesn't eventually get ported to Worlds Beyond because of, you know, Kaori's world being Tokyo and all that. But,
yeah, I think this whole set will likely become a set in Worlds Beyond eventually, right?
Yeah, but if you want to get your hands on these cards right away, I mean, it's the best way to do it. And it's just like all the art is so good in this set.
It is, right? Yeah. They even introduced God packs where you can pull a pack with all of the URs of the Tokyo characters, plus one of the SPs from past sets will randomly be included as well. So it's your chance to get the not swimsuit if you're looking for that, or one of the other ones potentially. So they kind of got a reprint here too. But the URs are really beautiful.
More incentives to open a case. It's important for the stores. So like, there you go. It's a good way to do it. So there was a really big push for this set, and we're going to talk about it more towards the end of this episode. Going to just kind of go over what the decks do for those of you curious what they are. So yeah, it's overall pretty nice. But together with the set, they released the EX beginner decks, and English is getting these as well as showdown decks. But these are 990 yen decks for Forest, Abyss, Rune, and Haven, because Dragon and Sword already got them when Worlds Beyond came out, that are basically competitively ready decks out the box. So what actually happened is that after this came out, there was somebody that took the Forest deck unedited to a CS, and I think got like top 4 or second place or something like that. Wow, that's
literally
crazy.
Just this in the box. Like, they just bought one deck, no changes, and then just went crazy with it.
That is wild. What the heck?
Right.
And 990 yen?
Yeah, it's 1,000 yen,
what,
right?
2 cents? So that's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's really good. It even includes stuff from like set 16, like the new Aria, you know, and like the Amatas also. The only thing is it doesn't have Piercy. And so the cards that were not included in these decks, they're kind of going up a little bit here right now. So
that does make sense. But I mean, it has like even like that Cynthia that buffs all your fairies, which is really good. I got rocked by that in and then the swimsuit Spinaria too, which only recently came out, relatively recently in English. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Then the rune list is basically like spellcasters, magicians. I'm not sure what the archetype was called in English, but mages, I guess.
Mages. Yeah.
So you got yourself a Merlin reprint, the new Daria,
one shift,
Yukishima as well. So I think for English, the Rune List, I'm pretty sure, is an Earthright deck, right?
It is, yeah. So for context, the English versions called the Showdown decks are a bit different. They're like $20, and
Mhm.
their lists are very different. I would
And
even
in
say
some
that they're
cases, way
more
better.
value. Yeah. So, but this is still a pretty good deal. I mean, like you said, if you can just get this and win our top 4 at a CS with it, that's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
like look at the Abyss list too. There's like so many cards that are like used, you know, like Gremory was getting
Gramarye,
really expensive.
big,
Same with
yeah, that's
Aishilindrik
big.
too. So
Mm.
even the new Cerberus is in here as well. This is the Worlds Beyond one. So stuff
Hmm.
like that is honestly very much appreciated. It's cannot be over like you know. Oops, sorry, 1 second.
It can't be overstated, right? Like starter product that's affordable and actually quality
Yeah.
is like the easiest way to get new players or returning players back to your game, because it also just gives the existing community a very easy like win where you just like point at it and go get this one, and like
Yep.
easy to recommend. So yeah.
This is the biggest one that's like a huge upgrade in English, which is the Haven deck. In Haven, you
Mm,
get like a full playset of Zalganea. Japan didn't get it,
yeah.
so this is like an amulet Haven list. But we'll show the English lists in Igni's part of the podcast, so look forward to that. But so these also came out, and as you can see, like they're already making waves, especially the Forest one. It's just straight up winning tournaments, so
Yeah,
definitely a
right.
good
Is
way to
there
start.
a tie-in code for Worlds Beyond as well? I believe there
Yes,
was,
there
right?
is. So you can get emblems of each of the leaders for each
Mm.
by buying each of these. And I think if you buy 2 of a starter deck, you get a random pack of 10 sleeves. So I'm not sure if that's at the bottom here. Yeah, so if
Oh
you buy
yeah.
2 of the decks, you'll get a random pack of sleeves, and one of them is
Ace or UD in English.
Yudi, yeah.
Oh, that's a really cool UD art too. You only ever see that art in the tutorial of Worlds Beyond and then never again. So the fact that
Right.
they made it a sleeve is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So especially these two I feel like are pretty sought after. I like the Esperanza as well. She's one of my of the Worlds Beyond leaders, she's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, mine's Cowrie.
Kyrie's cool too. I like her
She
as
is a
well.
redhead, so I am
Yeah,
biased.
understandable. If you do the story for Drawl, then you like him a lot as well. He's a cool
Yeah,
dude.
I haven't done the story yet. I'm still waiting to do that on stream, but yeah.
I haven't done the
So.
Kawari one, and that's the one that I feel like I should, because the her literally her story set is out in
Right, I
Evolve.
feel like they released that as a pretty good timing too, right? Like the Tokyo set came out around the same time as the Kaori story came out in Worlds Beyond. It's a little bit of a synergy there, which is cool
I
across the
always do
IP.
them right before they update. So it's like, because the Grand Blue set in Worlds Beyond didn't have a story update, I was like, oh, okay, then I'll just do it next time.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
So that also came out. And then in terms of what's still coming up, we have the Princess Connect collab set coming up on January 30th. So in just
Yeah,
I guess a bit under 2 months from the time of recording this. And they haven't started revealing anything for this yet outside of the initial wave of reveals. So you have your Yabai Wayo. So we're getting Predicone, Shadowverse Evolve set. Makes sense. It's a very popular Sign Games IP that is loved by many. I played it for quite some time as well, a couple of years ago. So I think I'll probably pick up some stuff for it too. Actually, funnily enough, I picked up, I went to a card shop yesterday and they were selling a full, like, Uma Musume deck from, like, it's called Yoko Uma. And they were selling it for, like, 8k yen, and it was, like, even, like, a lot of premium foils too. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll pick it up. I can make a video of like how to use the best Uma Musume deck or something, because on release it was really expensive, and now it's kind of like dropped off a little bit.
It's going to be pretty relevant in English soon. We'll talk about that in my section as well.
Yeah.
Just for context, in Shadowverse Evolved, for people who don't know, when there's a crossover set like this, you can either use the cards as assigned by the classes to supplement your existing Shadowverse decks, or you can do crosscraft and only run Princess Connect cards, and it's called a Princess Connect Universe deck. So that's another way you can use the cards inside. So I'm really curious, because a lot of the crossover sets in Shadowverse Evolved's history have been historically pretty strong. Like when Uma first came out, right? When especially when Idol. Yeah. Don't get me started, dude. I'm about to maul. Right?
Everyone's suffering from
Kagero's ruining my
right
life,
now.
dude. Yeah, and then yeah. Well, yeah. Uma and Idolmaster as well were pretty strong, right? So, and Vanguard, like you said. So I wonder what the power level of this is gonna be. Like, are they gonna like basically like really push this archetype like they did in the past, or like we don't know because they didn't reveal anything yet, right?
they have revealed the leaders of each class. So Sword will be Pecorine, as you can see here. Force will be
Makes sense.
Kokoro, so same as original Shadowverse. If you don't know, Shadowverse, OG Shadowverse had a Princess Connect collab as well. Karu or Carol, what was her name in English? Carol?
Carol. Yeah.
Carol, right? Will be Rune. Then for Dragon, we'll have Sheffy. So it makes sense because she is literally a dragon. So this is Sheffy. She's
like
dragon
the Arc
leader.
2 protagonist, right? I never got that far, but something like that, yeah. So she's one of the main characters as well.
And then Yui is the Haven leader. And then Hiyori, so Hiyori will be the second dragon leader. And then Dei is the Abyss leader. And Dei is one of my favorite characters as well. So actually, give me a second. I'll pop up what the characters look like. So Yui, Princess Connect.
While you do that, I'll also mention the trailer for the Princess Connect Shadowverse Evolve set. All the comments are like, Kiaru, please do not reduce my max health. Because they're all traumatized from the Shadowverse Classic collab back in the day where Carol was just like the strongest card.
Dude, she was a little too good, I feel like. I remember like we were... I can't remember if I was already commentating officially or if I was just commentating community tournaments back then, but dude, that card she was tearing things apart.
It was pretty reviled in the community, but it's funny now that we can look back and like sort of look fondly upon those times because all the comments are just like Grimburst, Grimburst, Grimburst. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Grimburst was that was a time indeed. I'm gonna just pop up the characters that are in the set, just to show you guys a little bit. So we have Yui. Hiyori was Yui. When you see her art, you'll understand why she is in whatchamacallit, Haven. It kind of makes sense. The Princess Connect, like there's a whole gallery of like all the different little cards and stuff because they all have, it's a gacha game, so obviously they have a lot of different arts and different like whatchamacallit, like you level them up and rarity upgrade them, and then they will change their arts and stuff,
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Hiyori being dragon is interesting. I'm a little surprised.
I was gonna ask, like, why do you think they put 2 dragon leaders in this? That's a bit odd.
I mean, they ran out of classes, I guess. Dei being Abyss, I'm a little bit sad about. I was hoping she'd be Sword. She's literally my favorite. She's my favorite Princess Connect character, and I don't play Abyss for the most part, so I'm a little bit sad.
I can't see him.
All right, so let me show you. So first things first, let me show you. This will be the Haven leader. So we have Yui is
there you go.
She's quite popular. So this is Yui. Then Hiyori is dragon. So she's like a tiger lady.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess kind of makes sense, like fire and stuff. But then Dei is she's gonna be Abyss, and I don't know. I was hoping she'd be Sword.
It's a little off theme for Abyss, I would say. No,
this art
pretty interesting.
This art I can kind of see Abyss a little bit, but even then, or like here, I guess she has like ghosts and stuff.
Okay, well, this is kind of
Abyssy.
Yeah.
So, but
that's interesting.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like I do wish she was an Abyss, but that's just my like selfish wish. Just because, I feel like if I had to put someone else into Abyss though, it's kind of tough.
Well,
actually,
back in Classic we had what's her name? Ilsa?
Oh yeah. There was like
Ilya.
The villain of the game was in Portal, I remember.
Yes.
And then one of the other sort of like villains turned ally, I think, was the Abyss leader. So kind of surprised by the choices, but it's still pretty cool. So it's gonna be a bunch of original art, lots of signs, the usual thing, and they're doing a 3,000 copies limited special edition where you get a whole little playmat and stuff. So I can show you that too. So in the special edition, it retails for quite a lot. I'll show you the price first and foremost. It's 20,000 yen essentially, 19,800.
But all the
So
cards are foil, right? And they're all alt arts as well?
yes, so all the cards are alt arts and they are SL. So you already have that to begin with, and you get a special playmat, and you also get a special evolve point, just one copy though, and a storage box. So you do pay a fair bit, but everything is literally foiled out special arts. Like they're the seasonal arts, I guess, for the New Year's of a lot of the cards. And the evolve point, I'm pretty sure this might even be an original art. I'm not too sure on this one, but I haven't played the game in like a couple of years.
3,000 in the world?
Yeah.
It's actually it's not that bad of a price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a couple friends that pre-ordered this already.
Yeah, I can see it. It's for collectors for sure, but like,
Especially if you like Princess
honestly,
Connect.
yeah, it's not that bad of a value proposition. I think it's actually pretty reasonable. So,
Right.
yeah, for 3,000 in the world, yeah.
I think the reveals for this should be starting up
that's
somewhat soon. Sorry?
I wonder if it'll be released in English, this collector set as well. I think that's a big question.
Oh, true. That's a good point. Yeah. I feel like maybe like a, pre-order by this date from your locals kind of deal maybe would be nice. Maybe. I feel like
pretty cool.
Everything, but I guess the Big Worlds Beyond starter deck bundle that Japan got, they didn't do in English in the end. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how they do. But yeah, so that's Princess Connect. And then the last set that was announced, actually releasing on my birthday, is what was it called again?
Asvalt.
Asvalt, yes.
Eightfold Abyss Asvalt is back. Happy birthday, Chris DifferentFight.
That's me. I'm turning 30 on this day.
That's right. On status achieved. I'm reporting you in Asvalt, bro. That's crazy.
Dude. No, what's crazy is like my friends are having kids and stuff, and I'm like excited to go meet their kids and like get them presents. And then I was telling that to my brother, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's like an actual uncle moment." It was like, "Shit, you're right. I am Unk. I'm officially Unk status."
It's happened.
But yeah, it's gonna be a hype set. Of course, I think this is the biggest hype point. The Loot Sword support. Barbaros is one of the most popular characters in the whole Shadowverse franchise, I think. So that's 100%. Gonna be a big one. And for some reason, Yudi is gonna be in this set too. They already revealed her effect. I can actually show you. She's a 2-cost 2/2 with ward that draws you 1 on fanfare, and if you don't have any super evolve points left, she gets +2/+2 and heals you later too. So good generic effect. That's for some reason relegated to Asvalt.
Yeah, I guess you just didn't have room in the World Genesis set or something.
I guess,
but it's nice that we're getting her, and I do like that she's neutral. I feel like she should have been neutral in Worlds Beyond.
Right.
Too, so, yeah, right. Righting a wrong that I a qualm that I have. So that's good.
They patched it up for Evolve at least.
What I'm curious about is what are they gonna do with Anta Maria, because her trait in digital was all about playing Condemned back to back to back, but in Evolve, that kind of playstyle is very similar to Draconic Duelist. Is it going to be more Duelist, or is it going to be something else entirely? That's what I'm curious
about.
How
many sets of Draconic Duelist support are we going to do, man?
I feel we got some back-to-back, too, like with Rowan and then L and stuff. That's crazy. Right. So I hope she's something different, but it's just, I was thinking about it because the way she plays in digital is similar to how Duelist plays in Evolve. So I'm like, maybe they'll change it entirely, make it something completely different.
Maybe. And so far the only reveal they've shown is the Cutthroat. So this was like basically a Highlander portal deck back in the day, but portal doesn't exist in Evolve, so it's a neutral 1-cost 1/1 that reveals top 8 of your deck on fanfare, lets you choose 1 added to your hand, shuffle the rest, and then put them to the bottom of the deck. He does have a special rule that you can only have 1 of every card in your deck that is not called Cutthroat in both your main deck and your Evolve deck. So his card rule is that you have to have a Highlander deck, except for Cutthroat. I guess you can play 3 of him. Then he.
Well, I mean that makes sense because that fanfare is absurd. Like if you could just play that, every deck would just play it. So
yeah. So he's specifically, every deck would, as you say, just kind of find space for this, but he instead asks you to be a Highlander deck, and when he evolves, he chooses 2 followers and splits 4 damage between them of your opponent, of course. And if you super evolve him, he does that, but he chooses 1 follower and deals that and your opponent's leader 8 damage, which is a lot, but you can only super evolve once per game.
Yeah.
So that's coming up as well. Another set that was announced, and that's going to be in March. So basically we just have, from now on, it's basically just the Princess Connect and this set, and I don't think we know anything else in between other than that for Japan. But also, English is going to be catching up, so by the time that March rolls around, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the New World Genesis set. And then so that means that, so this is what, set 19, and English would be on set 16, so we will go down to being 3 sets apart. So we'll see if we randomly get another set fuse somewhere along the way. But
3.5, because I mean Princess Connect is a full booster, right? So.
That's true. So
yeah.
That's definitely not getting fused into anything. And then we know that New World Genesis isn't getting fused into anything, or Convergent Destinies either, we know is already announced. So
3 to 4 sets away.
Toko is definitely also coming out on its own, and so I'm assuming this will probably also come out on its own, unless for some reason they fuse it with whatever comes next, if they want to catch up more, or maybe they're happy with how the gap is between English and Japanese as it is. But yeah, there was also, I just had this tab opened, but the official Twitter posted this like little lore explanation of what all the characters from Tokyo do, where like the forest leader, he turns people into trees, and you can see Ebihara-san get turned into a tree. So that's not a very nice thing to do. And then so then the sword leader like knows everything, so it's a cool little like explanation of like all the characters, how like the rune leader is like sells expensive gems, and Eru destroys everything, and then the siblings for Abyss, they will definitely kill someone that they target, so like ultimate assassins. And then what is it, Seishiro is he will create a miracle, so pretty exciting stuff.
For those who hold out their hand, Chris,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For those that hold out their hand, man. That's for sure. But anyway,
all right.
That's all the new releases. We have had some ban updates, ban lists here and there. One of them happened all the way in October.
Which was defeated.
Yeah, the ban of Armor of Stars. It goes to show how long it's been since the last episode.
Yeah, also, I do like how they like write down all their rationales behind their bans and stuff. And essentially, they just said like, Sword is way too good. Like, and it's been good forever, basically. And Armor of Stars was a big proponent of that. I think the thing that broke the camel's back was, I think you told me about this. You just put Armor of Stars on GMon, right? And just get infinite value every turn. So
yeah, it's either GMon or like the harp. Not the harp, like the musician from the deck. Yeah. And then she just gives you infinite like healing. And resources. So we talked about that deck, I think, in the previous episode or the one before that. So make sure you look back on that if you're coming up on as the set comes up for English, I guess. But yeah, Armor of the Stars got banned, literally not usable at all, and that kind of like did knock down a lot of the sword decks, because the meta up until October was basically just different flavors of sword. Like it was either festive or loot, that was really good, and then Token was also around here and there too, but I think Token didn't really use Armor of Stars. But yeah, so that got banned. And the more recent one is Rebel Against Fate. Got banned literally a couple weeks ago with the release of the Tokyo set, because they accidentally created an infinite loop. So to explain, I can just explain how the infinite loop works. So Rebel Against Fate just came out in English in the most recent combined set. It's a 7-cost spell that banishes itself. It forces both players to return their hand and cemetery to their deck, shuffle, and draw 5. And then the next card you play this turn costs 7 less. So this was created sort of as like a tech against spell chain, where it's like before they get to de-shift you, you would basically just, make them shuffle back their cemetery, and that would essentially just, get rid of their ability to do de-shift. And, it was just a cool little tech card. But then
good against Natural Dragon too. You just put all the Naturals back. Yeah.
That's true. But another card that was in this combined set is Arcane Item Shop, and this says 7-cost amulet. If there's no followers in your cemetery, recover 6 play points. So basically, it's like a 1-cost amulet. And every time you play a rune spell, you do 2 damage to an enemy leader or enemy follower in the field. So this card was prominent in the app as well, and people literally built decks around it, and you just kind of OTK your opponent. After like a lot of setup, right? So it required a lot of setup. But in the Tokyo set, we have the Rune Leader, who is also a card, of course, Mana. And she's a 2-cost 2/2 that basically the way this deck works is like Pale Moon, where it does things with the banish zone. So it banishes its own stuff, and then it can play stuff from the banish zone as well. So this, for example, her fanfare is she lets you choose a card from your banish and swap a card from your hand with your banish, so with the card chosen. And when you evolve her, she lets you choose an enemy follower. You choose a follower of your own and banish it, and then choose an enemy follower, destroy it, and draw one. But her super evolve lets you put her Jeweled Dress Up spell into your EX area. Jeweled Dress Up says it's a 1-cost spell, so it's already very cheap. That says, for this turn, you can play cards from your banish. And so a very easy explanation is you play this, you set up the mana, and then after you've put down the arcane item shop and you have Rebel Against Fate in hand, you play the Jeweled Dress Up when you're on 8 play points, or 9 play points, doesn't really matter as long as it's more than 7. You play this, and then you play Rebel Against Fate, and it banishes itself. And the next card you play costs 7 less, and you can play cards from your banish. So you will infinitely keep playing Rebel Against Fate non-stop because it will constantly go to the banish. You can play cards from the banish, and Arcane Item Shop will deal 2 damage to the enemy leader infinitely. So there's literally no stopping this. There's no interaction. It's literally just an infinite loop. And so what they did is they just said, all right, we're banning Rebel Against Fate. And if you want to see the combo in action, I can show you Nala's video here where you can see here, it's like sets up, plays Arcane Item Shop, recovers the play points, and then plays the mana. And then essentially it's like, okay, you clear the mana, look at the opponent's life. It's 26, but literally he's going to just go Rebel Against Fate, shuffle back, hand, cemetery, and then I can up the playback speed of this, but you can see. And it's going to be literally, it's like, oh, you have 26 life. All right, here's 2 damage. And then now they kind of explain like this is, they recorded this before the release, just to show that it's an infinite loop. So you could say that technically they caused they caused this to get caught before release. Otherwise, it would have been in a.
I think 100% the devs saw this and were like, "Oh, oops."
Yeah, we can't afford to be in an infinite loop format.
Yeah.
So then you just basically infinite loop Rebel Against Fate, and just both players keep shuffling. So it's not even like it's literally just keep shuffling over and over and over again. So there's no interaction, and you just lose. So shout out to Nala for making the video, but. Yeah, this was a pretty funny restriction, I guess, in terms of what happened in the game as of recent.
I got some pretty mixed feedback on this one, too, from the English players. Some people were like, that seems slow anyway. Let it happen. Some people were like, no, that's unhealthy for the game. But I think they just took a stance and were just like, we don't want this kind of thing in our game. Like, we don't want a combo of this nature in our game.
Yeah, we didn't intend for this to
totally
be
fair.
The game, basically.
Yeah, that's
so
totally
unfortunately,
fair. Yeah.
The spell chain tech is gone, I guess. Nitra Dragon tech will be gone. But
I wonder why don't because I know that another Bushido game has this where you can have choice restrictions. I wonder why not just do that.
Hey man, Vanguard's in Shadowverse. You can say Vanguard. Yeah,
you're so right.
They could have done a choice restriction, I feel like, but maybe they're afraid of I don't know. It's because it's literally just this card that can play from banish, but maybe they're planning to make more cards that can enable you to play from banish, right?
Well, in a lot of ways, the new mana is, like you said, an expansion of the ideas that they had in the Vanguard set, Pale Moon. So I guess it is something they want to explore. So yeah. And this is just limiting that space. So enough.
So I guess they chose to do that. So yeah, that's the infinite loop. Pretty interesting stuff. They also banned Geomon from Crosscraft.
No, if I understand it, Crosscraft is actually a competitive format in Japan. Unlike in
you can get qualifications. So oh no, I think he's not banned. He's set to 1. You can play you can play 1 copy of Geomon. So I don't know the Crosscraft meta. Don't ask me. I haven't played Crosscraft yet. But people are literally getting qualifications to nationals through Crosscraft. So shout outs to them. Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool format. I know we have side events for Crosscraft in English edition, but we haven't made it part of our circuit. It's just a fun thing you can do. But interesting that it's an official, actual competitive thing in Japan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Moving on, we have some events as well that are coming up. We'll go over some of the events that happened too, but there's the Grand Championship Winter in Nagoya that I think is happening literally this weekend as we're recording this. So maybe this will come out and this will be done already. But this is a team tournament. Yeah, 250 teams, which will take place in Porto Messe, Nagoya. There was a Vanguard Deluxe last weekend in Nagoya as well. So this will
Ooh.
have some cool entry goodies. So it's pretty expensive. It's like 15,000 yen per team, so 5,000 yen per person. But you get a special alt art of one of the sword cards in the new set, and you get
Shinra,
sleeves,
right?
permat, and a storage box of that art too.
She's Shinra, the sword girl who gets the Giga Blade, which is pretty cool.
Exactly. She is the Giga Blade. And
This
then,
art, it goes so hard, man.
yeah, the top cut pricing.
Yeah.
So top 32, you get this lovely playmat, really good art, and then the promo is itself you get for top 32. You get 1 copy, and then you get another copy for getting top 4. And you get your Japan Championships invite if you go second place or first place, and you get a full playset if you are the winning team. So it's pretty cool stuff overall. If you get if you go 4-1 or better, you get some also additional promos, which is very nice in the revenge battle. So chances for a bunch of cool goodies, and of course exclusive merch. It was lovely. What was her name again? Lil Anthem.
Little Anthem, that's right.
She's been quite good in Worlds Beyond as of late. Sometimes she really don't leave the board.
Yeah, it's quite an annoying card to some people, I would say, but yeah.
Especially when I'm playing Dragon, I'll set up my my Intimidate, and I'm like, all right, checkmate. And then they go like, haha, Super Evolve destroyed. And I'm like, oh, oops.
That's why you gotta be, we're back to Crest, baby. Torrent of Despair is the only thing that can take her out.
True, you can just banish her.
Yeah.
That's true, doesn't target. But yeah, some cool exclusive merch. Christmas Sekka, the SP art, just in time for Christmas.
Hey, we got that SP art in English just now as well, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sekka being a menace in the English edition. We'll talk about the meta in English as well on my side. But yeah, it's cool to see. You know, still remembered. Well, I guess Sekka is a fan favorite, so
yeah, for sure. And then the other event we know that's coming up is the Tochigi Grand Championship on February 11th. So it's a Wednesday, but it's a holiday in Japan.
That's after Princess Connect. So
yes, this will be after Princess Connect.
We'll be able to see that. Yeah.
One of my best friends in Japan lives in Tochigi, so I'm thinking if I do go, I'll just go like visit him and his family, I guess.
Why don't you compete? This could be you.
I'm thinking about it.
You could be Chris Japan champion, different fight.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Grand Championship in a whole minute because they haven't really been doing them in like near Tokyo. Usually they do them in Chiba, but I think the last time they did one, it was also clashing with like a Bushi Expo or something as well. So it's been like every Shadowverse event has been clashing this year for me, and it's really sad. So I don't really get many opportunities to compete this year. So hopefully next year there's a bit less clash and I can actually compete sometimes. Yeah, so that was that.
So
and then
have happened, right?
Yep. And then of course, just before we move on to talking about our main topic, which is the sets, you know, or like what is in the set of you know, the Tokyo set, I do want to go over some of the recent metas. So this was the set 16 meta, was the one where that was very much dominated by sword. And there was the Grand Championship in Himeji, which had 839 players.
This is very relevant for future English players because BP16 in March is getting close to the last qualifying spots for Worlds, right? So you gotta lock in. You gotta understand the BP16 meta by the time March comes out for sure.
And this list actually will be playable in English in February because this is this doesn't use any cards from BP16.
I wonder if they're gonna pre-restrict Armor of Stars though. That could change things, but yeah.
Yeah, you can see Loot Sword is using Armor of Stars. So Loot Sword, of course, not only does it have a bunch of aggressive options, you know, we have the Storm guy. We have, of course, you know, the ability of Octress to steal stuff has never changed. And then the current Octress also uses all the loot cards that you are very familiar with from Worlds Beyond right now. So, you know, you got the boots that if your opponent has 10 cards in the cemetery, give Storm to one of your loot followers. So that's another aggressive option. The dagger is just like in Worlds Beyond. This might have been a premonition actually, because this came out before Worlds Beyond came out. And I was already surprised that this is like 2 cost, deal 2 damage to enemy follower. If your opponent has 10 or more in cemetery, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. I was like, whoa, dagger does leader damage. That's crazy. And then Worlds Beyond did leader damage too. I was like, what? Crazy.
There you go.
And then
I want to say as well,
token spell.
The list is pretty interesting because as it's one of the cool things about Evolve is that because there's no rotation. They can just support different traits over the course of many years. So a card that never saw any play, like Grand Acquisition back in the day, because of all the new support, suddenly it becomes a playable card, which is pretty
Yeah.
interesting. So
One
it's
cost,
nice to have
mill 3
bulk in this
cards of your
game.
opponent's deck. Pretty
Yeah.
good. So I think we've talked about Loot Sword in a previous episode, so I don't want to take up too much time, but it was still the best deck in the room at the time. And then I guess like Reanimate Abyss was also a very popular one. It's crazy because we showed you the list earlier of the EX beginner deck. I think literally everything from that list is in here, right? It's like you have the Granaries, the Ishilindrigs, like the Cerberus. I guess the only thing is maybe like the Arcus, but that's about it.
Ever since Ishilindrig came out, this deck is just like a forever deck. It's just forever good. You can always play it. So
have you played against it?
Oh yeah, tons of times.
Have you been trained?
If they don't go first, it's actually pretty okay. They don't have that many good evolves. So, but if they get the train on time and they just start smacking you for 4 and healing 2 every turn, it's like, okay, I don't like this. The worst part about Ishilindrig, is that it summons the train on Fanfare. So even if you remove Ishilindrig's train, they'll just resurrect it with some with one of their revivers, and the train comes back out just like that. Whereas with Val and with Baron Bunny summoning Val, that at least requires an evolve, so you can almost semi-permanently remove the car. But now the train just keeps coming back no matter what. No interruptions. Okay, this is the Yamanote line.
It is the Yamanote line, bro. It's running very smoothly. Then the third place deck was 7-cost Dragon, but quite a different list from usual. I think this is when Gilnily started to pick up in the list as well. So Gilnely's, for those of you, again, February's coming up, so that's when the next combined set comes out for English. Gilnely's will be in there, and she is played in a lot of decks because she's a 2-cost 2/2 that gets drained if you have 10 or less defense. So that already means you're getting access to generic healing, but if you evolve her for just 1, she lets you choose between 2 effects. One is choose a other follower, so not herself, and give it +2 attack, -2 defense, literally the same as Worlds Beyond. Or you get to put the Voracity spell into your EX area. And the Voracity spell is 5 cost, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader, heal 2 to yours, draw 2, and all opponents have to randomly discard 2. That is very strong against certain decks.
Yeah. Just opponents discarding has always been scary. It's on my mind too, because the Uma collab crossover EX is coming out in English soon, and I was just looking at lists and I was like, man, 7 more centimeters is going to be a thing again. Oh no.
Yeah, that's true. So the main, we talked about this in the previous episode, but Burnite is the boss card of this deck, where every end phase, if you have 7 or more 7-cost or greater dragon cards in your cemetery, she just deals 7 to your opponent's face every turn. On top of that, her super evolve heals you 5. Her fanfare lets you ditch 1 and then deal damage equal to the cost of that card to an enemy follower. She costs 5 to play if you have 4 or more 7-cost or greater dragon cards in your cemetery. So she basically enables the whole deck. And almost every card in this deck is like, it's a 7-cost or greater that's like, oh, when discarded, pay 2 to play something. It's like, oh, pay 2 and discard another 7-cost or greater card, heal 5. Discard this and another 7-cost or greater card and pay a play point to draw 2, ramp a play point. So, and then you have cards like the Sahar that's like, when discarded, look at top 2 and add a 7-cost or greater dragon card to your hand. So this deck is really strong. It's like you play a bunch of effects early game, ramp up a little bit, and then on 5 you play Burnite, and then you tell your opponent, I will blow you up in 2 turns if you don't start healing. And that's why this started being played.
I also really like the addition of the 9-cost Jerva in this. When he gets discarded, he just goes to your EX, and then so if your Burnite can't do all of the damage, you can just in the end game just play Jerva for another 6. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. He was quite popular before, not as much. This is like a bit of a dated list now because this is from a previous format.
Right.
So it's been very good. So this was the October meta. There was also 2-cost Haven has also been very good too. So for those of you that picked up my goat Selena, she works really well with a lot of the pieces that we just got in English, I think. So things like the Runaru, forget the name of the English
Lunarian
name.
Paladin, I believe.
Yeah, Lunarian Paladin. And then this John's been around for a long time. This comes out in set 16, which basically fetches out to 6 total 6 costs or lower. Right? What is it again?
Wasteland cards, right?
Wasteland cards. I always forget the word wasteland for some reason.
It's crazy. This is basically like Haven's Faust.
Yeah, it is Haven's Faust. It basically just searches out Serena. She recovers 2 play points when she attacks, and she has Storm. So
what the heck?
And then you can search the bird, which gives you the car, I think, or the bike. Sorry,
the bike.
This gives
That's
you a
even
bike,
more
which gives
damage
you
on
more
Selena
attack.
too.
This has Storm, so it's just basically Storm Haven.
Pretty good.
Yep. So that was that. And then just about a month ago, a bit less than a month ago, we had the Grand Prix in Osaka for autumn, and this was the Renaissance Chronicles format. And would you believe it, Machina Abyss is the best deck in format. So
yeah, it's super interesting because the key card is still the old mono. It's just that the new mono enables her. Is that what I'm understanding correctly?
Yeah, the new mono is a 3-cost 2/2 that on Fanfare summons a product machine, which is already good because you need to have 5 Machinas in play.
Assembly droid, I believe, in English.
Yeah. And then when she attacks, she deals damage equal to one. She deals damage to one of your opponent's followers equal to how many other Machina followers you have in play. So she will deal 4 damage to enemy follower. And for 0, if you have 5 Machina followers, once per turn, she gets +1/+1 and Storm. So she's another 3 attack, but we all know that it's not really 3 because this mono gives +2/+2 to all your Machina cards. So it's 5.
And she also has Storm. So it's actually 12 attack.
Yeah, just between those two. And then if any product machines or whatever stuck from early turns, then you can just OTK your opponent quite easily. Yeah. So this deck just got a lot of strong tools. It got a Searcher. It got very strong generic spell as well in set 12.
Garnet Waltz. Yeah, that's the one.
So I think this is already out in English?
It is indeed. Yeah.
So you guys already know about this one. There is a new Ennea, 2-cost 1/1 that evolves for 1, and she lets you search for Roly Poly the second and summon it on evolve. Or if you super evolve her, she chooses a Machina from Cemetery, puts it to EX area, and reduces play cost by 3. And so that's perfect combo with the new mono. So pretty easy setup overall. The new Roly Poly is also a ward, 2-cost 1/3 that lets you look at top 2 of the deck and put a Machina card into hand and discard the other one. So that lets you mill out your Alpha Drive.
Alpha Drives. Yep. Oh man.
So this deck is very good. Just like it's the old Machina Abyss, just better. I kind of like that. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They just gave it really strong support.
Yeah, that's just part of why I like Evolve in general. I mean, Recent Chronicles in general had a lot of Machina Nitro stuff anyway, so it makes sense that it came back.
The second place was 7-cost Dragon. Very different list this time around. It's a lot closer to what I've been playing too. Apollon has been adapted. He says 3-cost 3/3, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers and the enemy leader on Fanfare. And guess what? He does the same thing on Evolves, just like in Worlds Beyond. The big change, I guess, is... Yeah, I guess that is kind of the biggest change. They're not playing...
Has the one of Sharon in this one, which the other one didn't have, so that's pretty interesting.
She's quite good because she's a 7-cost that refunds 5 play points. And, well, when you think of 5 play points, it's Burn Knight after the effect goes in. So you get to play this, play Burn Knight, and then she lets you engage her to choose 2 effects, and then she basically lets you buff something or heal or, draw an extra card, stuff like that. So just a very good consistency card. But... This deck has also been evolving again with the Tokyo set because there are a couple generic dragon cards in the set that this deck can also use. So it's still been adapted. But this was a very diverse meta actually. Let me find there was somebody recapped all the decks that were in the top 64, and that really shows just how diverse the play field was for this tournament. So let me quickly just find you the list because I saved it somewhere. And I think it's cool to look over. There we go, I found it. So we have 24 Machina Abyss of the top 64. And then this is 8 I think this is whatchamacallit. The third one is Hakaba. This is like Cemetery Abyss. So this one is whatchamacallit.
Sanguine Abyss, right?
Yeah, Sanguine Abyss. You're so right. Sanguine Abyss. Then 4 Earthright runes, 3 combo forests, 3 wasteland swords, 2 7-cost dragons, and I think they both went to top 8 or top 4.
Oh, there you go.
Then 2, these are, I think, not hunter, beast forests.
Okay.
Then 2 wasteland havens, 2 machina havens, 1 Natura Spartacus sword, 1 Ryo rune, 1 control haven, 1 Natura forest, and they had a pretty good run too. 1 cute, 1 cool for the Idolmaster representation, and 1 token sword. So I will leave a link to the top 64 here. You can actually look at every single top 64 list. This is the beauty of Bushinavi. I think the only other Bushard game that does this is HoloLive, where you can look at all the results of all the little tournaments that happen. And you can find, so if any of the lists that we just went over interest you, like for me, for example, I was really into, I like Natura Forest, for example, so I can like go through here and look for the forest lists and go like, okay, this one is the combo one. You can see things like the Arisa and stuff are being played here. But then if I keep scrolling and, you know, I want to look for another elf, is what it's called in Japan, list, then I will keep going down. It's like, oh, there's elf, and there it is. There is my Natura forest list. So yeah, very cool, useful tool. Make sure you look through for any lists you're interested in from the ones we listed, because there's a lot of interesting archetypes, and I'm assuming that there won't be any big ban lists to affect this specific meta. So when Renaissance Chronicles comes in English, you can just, you know, copy paste these lists and use them as they are.
I mean, I'm super excited for Sanguine personally, especially since on the English side as well, there's a and it plays pretty high in this one too, right? I think it came third. So yeah, in the English side, we're getting that Wings of Lust alt art that you see here very soon. I believe it is for for a grand showdown. So I need it. I mighty need for that.
The Urias is also just as strong as he was back in the app days, but if we start talking about that, it's going to take forever. So I think once we get close to the release of this set, we'll probably go over it in depth in Igni's part.
Right. Yeah. All right. Shall we just take a look at the Tokyo decks and what they do? Is that that's our main topic, right?
Yep. Oh, no, also one more thing. Sorry. There wasn't a stream for Osaka, but they did record everything. So I'm assuming they just didn't have like a live internet connection. So I can actually watch the games. So you can watch Sanguine be played. You can watch Machina Rune be played, and they even show the deck lists before they go into the game. So you get to really like see everything in action. So I'll leave a link for this in the description too. So make sure you take a look at that as well.
Cool.
So the main topic for today is or at least from my side, is Tokyo. And essentially, I mean, Tokyo is the expansion that just came out. And I don't want to take too long to talk about it, just because, you know, we've already been talking for a pretty long time. But I just kind of want to go over what each of the decks does for those curious, because this is like a original, you know, Shadowverse Evolve only set. So for Forest, the leader, as we said, is Roro Ronie. And essentially his ability that some of the other cards have as well is that you can evolve any number of times per turn, which is, of course, a very fresh thing. There's, you know, I guess in Worlds Beyond right now, we do have a few like self-evolvers, but it's different, right? They don't auto-evolve on their own. You actually activate the evolve ability and pay the evolve cost for them. And then they give you a bunch of different payoffs for it. So this guy called Kyo, he basically says like, if you have an evolve follower, or when a follower evolves, it's like deal 1 damage to enemy leader. If it was the first time, you draw 1. If it's the second time, he gets Storm. If it's the third time, he gets +2/+2, right? And then you have things like every time you evolve, heal leader 1, or it's like you have stuff that costs a bunch, but then it's like for every face-up evolve card that is Tokyo in your evolve deck, reduce the cost of this by 1. And then this does 5 damage to enemy follower and 1 to the leader. So it's like you basically have infinite evolve. Wow, infinity evolve mention, no way.
No way.
But
I think I see why PRC is good now.
Yeah, right. She's been going up for a reason. And there's like a lot of the interesting thing with the set is that a lot of the stuff is for the Tokyo decks, but there are like some good generic cards like, you know, this is a bronze. What was this in English again?
Airbound Barrage.
Airbound Barrage.
Key card in Forest for a long time.
Yeah. So they dropped that, and it's like, choose a forest follower and an enemy follower. Return the forest follower to your hand. Deal 3 damage to the enemy follower. It's literally the same card.
Exactly what it does. Hey, and also big shout outs to my girl Milolo on the left there. I revealed her.
Milolo.
She wasn't very good in Shadowverse Classic, so I don't know what she does in this though.
Once per turn, when you play a spell, choose a follower, give it +1/+1, and rush.
Huh?
And fanfare this turn, the next cost 1 or lower spell you play costs 1 less.
That's very interesting. That is not what she did in Classic. In Classic, she was when you played a spell, evolve this card. So I was wondering, but that's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was a digression. Because that's the card I revealed, so I'm like, oh, that's my girl.
Oh, dude, I understand that. The attachment to the cards you reveal is very much felt. Yeah, all the main characters from this set also have their own like token spells we showed with the rune one. So the forest one is like 1 cost spell, which is already obviously good, but you draw 1 and then choose any number of face-up evolve cards in your evolve deck, put them face down, and recover an evolve point.
That's crazy. We're just evolving like crazy in this thing.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that relates to turning people into trees though.
Yeah, he turns people into trees. Is that what flipping your evolve deck face down is? It's like this person has died and now they will become a tree.
Yeah, interesting.
It's pretty deep. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on, we have Sword. We have a cool dog. I like a cool dog.
Epic.
But
well, you're a Vanguard player. Of course, you'd like a cool dog. The best cards in your game are cool dogs.
Yeah, usually they are indeed. That's very much true. They end up on the ban list, unfortunately. But the leader is Shinda, and her gimmick is she summons a Giga Blade. And Giga Blade is not a token, it's a amulet from your main deck. That is a 1 cost that says this cannot be destroyed or banished by effects. And every time you play a Tokyo follower or a Tokyo follower evolves, you put a Giga counter on your Giga Blade. Sounds so cool. Dude. Make sure your counter says Giga on it. You put like a gigabyte storage on your Giga Blade. But when you play this, you put 2 Giga counters on all of your Giga Blades, and if you already have a Giga Blade in play, you put this to the cemetery. So its only function once you have extra copies is to basically like produce 2 more counters.
Right.
And then when you super evolve her, she puts her spell into your EX area like they all do, but her last effect is when you engage her, you remove 10 Giga counters from your Giga Blade, and you deal 8 Giga damage to your Giga opponent.
That's awesome. That reminds me, this is sort of like Aftershock, but the Aftershock can't be destroyed this time, which is a little scary. Yeah.
And then her spell gives you 3 Giga counters on your Giga Blade and draws you 2 cards for 1 cost, which is pretty damn good.
Hey, drawing 2 cards is pretty good, man. We take those.
So you have a bunch of payouts for the Giga counters. Like the dog is like, remove 10 counters, deal 5 AoE damage to all enemy followers, get +2/+2 in Storm. So it's like you can either deal 8 damage or you can deal 5, but also 5 AoE, and he draws a card on Fanfare.
Damn, that's a good boy.
It's a good boy. But yeah, so that's kind of how the rune deck works. They also did some support for Levin. Or not even for Levin, sorry. This is he's just an
Arthurian
officer, yeah.
That's Gawain. He's Arthurian. That's crazy. Haven't seen an Arthurian card in a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a 2 cost 3/3 with Rush, and on Fanfare, if you have 5 or more sword followers in your cemetery, draw 1. If 10 or more, he gets Storm and heals you later 2. If 15 or more, he gets Intimidate and Aura. And if you have 20 or more, he gets +7/+7.
Okay, that's pretty much exactly what he did in Digital too, like the rally mechanic back then. But this time it's followers in cemetery, which makes a lot of sense. So there you go.
Yeah. So he's really quite a good card, I feel like. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in use as well. There's already been some tournaments for this set as well, but I think probably when we do our next episode in January, we'll go over the Nagoya results and look over, like, have a bit more time to look over the results, and then probably by then we'll have some of the Princess Connect reveals to talk about as well. So look forward to that. But
For sure.
Then for Rune, we kind of already went over it. It uses the banish zone, so just puts cards into banish, and then based on how much you have in banish, for example, you have like Ginger, who's like she's a 10 cost, but for every card in your banish, her cost goes down by 1.
Oh, that's really good.
And then her spell that she gives you on Fanfare lets you choose an enemy follower, remove all of its abilities, and put its attack and defense to 1.
Very similar to the digital Ginger, which is nice.
Yeah. And then, you have a bunch of other followers that support the whole banish playstyle, but you also have Pale Moon cards. So I'm quite curious to look at the lists for this deck. But you have followers that buff themselves if you have stuff banished. You have ways to get stuff back from banish into your hand as well. You have like just a lot of followers that buff themselves based on what you have in banish or heal your leader and stuff like that. So just overall.
Wait, scroll down real quick. Is that Mysterian Carbuncle? Is that a Mysteria card?
This one? Yes. There is some Mysteria support in here. So
get a
like
sprinkling of support elsewhere as well.
Yeah. Last words. Mill 1. On Evolve, look at top 2. Put a Academy card into your hand.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of support for other things like also Mage as well. A lot of the cards are mages.
Makes sense.
So that's Rune. Then Dragon is the most popular one, but it's also the least Tokyo one because it is actually Dragonic Duelist. Can you believe it?
Yeah. So everyone in their school club, the Dragon Girls school club, they're all duelists. So that's really good for the duelist archetype. Yeah.
So you basically just be using the Dragonic Duelist stuff you've been using until now, but the whole point of this deck is that it buffs things, and it's just aggressive essentially. So I feel like the easiest one to look at is this one actually. She's a 2-drop that says whenever your 4 attack Dragonic Duelist follower attacks, it gets +1 attack. And her Fanfare gives a Dragonic Duelist +1 attack as well. So you just put this on a Storm follower and just go ham.
Very importantly, Masamune is a 4-attack Draconic Duelist after the buff. Al on Evolve is a 4-attack Draconic Duelist. So, pretty scary stuff.
She's a 3/3 that evolves for 1, becomes a 4/4, looks at top 3 for Dragonic Duelist, puts it to EX area, puts the rest to bottom, and this turn the play cost becomes 3 less.
That's crazy.
On Super Evolve, she gives you her token that choose enemy follower, and 1 Tokyo follower in your board, and then the enemy follower gets destroyed. Your follower gets Storm. So you can see it's very aggro coded.
She's basically Chipper Skipper, but for Draconic Duelist. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been playing a lot of Draconic Duelist recently. So the fact that they also get a 1-cost amulet, really important to enable a lot of the amulet effects like Romelia. So
there's also one there's a 1-cost amulet from the previous set too with Rowan.
Yeah, the Rowan's Dragonlance, right? So
yeah. So this one's also kind of cool. It's like top 2, look for Dragonic Duelist, add it to hand, put the rest at the bottom, and then engage this, send this to Cemetery, heal your leader 1. You can only do this if you have a 4 attack or greater Dragonic Duelist follower in play. So it's like
it's
not too crazy, but it's a searcher and a healer, so it's kind of like
the fact that it's a duelist like enables all your duelist effects. So that's the important thing. Because right now, currently in English, we have to run Dragon's Nest, which is like subpar. So
yeah. And then some people have been playing Fafnir in 7-cost Dragon. It's like a 8-cost 7/8 that has Ward, and on Fanfare deals 8 damage AoE to all enemy followers and 4 to the enemy leader. So that's like already not bad. And as long as he's in play, your opponent's followers, whenever they would go from field to cemetery, they get banished instead.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's kind of like a floodgate. It's pretty nice.
I also want to say that's just straight up way better than the Fafnir from set 1 by a lot.
Yeah, it's also been, what, 4 years almost?
It has been 4 years, I know, but in a game with no rotation, it's a bit funny to put them side by side and be like, that's interesting.
What happened? Yeah. That is how games without rotation are. So this is a deck that I've been, that I built up as well. I picked up sword stuff too, but the neutral stuff in this set is quite expensive.
Because I heard every deck runs Saito. We'll get to that in a sec, but
except for Dragon,
yeah. Well, except for Dragon, yeah.
And then Abyss, I'm still a little bit confused on. I feel like all the 3 Abyss archetypes that were good in the last meta are so good that the Tokyo stuff isn't really doing much, because it's like basically 2-cost Abyss that like your payoff is this dog thing, like with wings.
Okay. Another dog, pretty cool. Hey, there's a
What
new
you choose
Vania. Does
is
that support vampires, or is that
so
anything?
this is separate. So Vampy,
Okay.
there's a new Vampy, and like bats in general got good support from the set because of her, because
Mm-hmm.
she lets you
Okay.
ditch a vampire card and put a forest bat into EX and draw a card, and then the old Vampy basically like rewards you for having bats in the EX, and then she's like on Super Evolve, she gives all bats Storm and Bane. And on
Oh
regular
wow.
evolve, she deals 2 damage to enemy follower as well, for as a 2 cost with 1 evolve.
Dang, that's
So
crazy.
overall pretty
Yeah.
cool. We have
So,
Jif's old icon.
oh, he's finally back.
He's here. I haven't seen
It's
this image in a
interesting.
long
So,
time.
it basically the Abyss was so good that the Tokyo didn't really make an impact, huh?
That's what it feels like, I think. So
Hmm.
we'll see. It might still just be taking its time to cook, but it's basically like it's a 2 cost deck. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like you get your 2 cost cards back from Cemetery, and then you can like make them cost 2 less to play, is what
Oh.
the twins, the siblings do. So, and I don't know, I haven't really, like, there's a bunch of like, little bits and bobs of damage. This is like, deal 1 damage to all leaders and all enemy leaders and all enemy followers. If you have 10 or more 2 cost original cards in your cemetery, deal 2 damage instead. And it's like, it's cute, but Sword is doing 5.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it feels like a little bit on the lacking side. Haven is also kind of interesting, where it's basically heal Haven. So Seishiro is like, if you heal your leader, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower every time. And
Oh.
he lets you play either a 3 cost or lower Tokyo follower for free, or a 3 cost or lower Haven Amulet for free when you evolve him. And a Super Evolve gives you this 0 cost token that does damage to enemy leader equal to how many Tokyo followers you have in play, and heals your leader 1 for 1. Sorry, it's a 1 cost spell. So it's basically 5 damage as well.
That's pretty interesting. And you said it's a heal deck, which scares me considering up there I saw that Alana's in this set. So.
Yeah, Alana's in the set. She's literally at the start of your main phase. If you have her prayer in play, she heals your leader 2. And on fanfare, she adds the prayer to your hand from your deck.
Oh. That's that sounds scary for
and for those that need a reminder, this is a set 2 card that says once per turn when you heal your leader, gives +1/+1 to all your followers. But it's once per turn. I wish this got errated.
Ah, that's true. Once per turn does make it a little underwhelming.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of nuns with guns. Like, nuns with guns with... I thought this was a tattoo, but it's a robot arm. So that's pretty exciting. And then I really like her art. She's got this, like, the cyber eye and everything.
She's pretty cool. I do like that Seishiro is a kung fu gun priest. That is pretty epic.
And you have this like bear man with a gun.
Hey man, in a city that's as depraved as Tokyo, you
gotta make
justice has to also be tough as nails. So.
Yeah,
there you go.
So a lot of them just have effects when you heal. So he's like, when you heal, you deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. Interesting. And then he also like gives you a bit of healing, a bit of damage to your opponent's stuff too. So it's basically just a lot of healing based effects. And it's like pretty cool, but also again, we have a very strong Haven deck still in the format. So curious to see if this made a splash or not. I haven't been keeping track of the results too much in this last week, but definitely gonna check that out as well.
All right, let's talk about the neutrals. I'm curious about this Saito especially, because it seems like he's being played in everything.
Yeah, this is also basically the only, like, there's a bunch of neutral Tokyo cards, but some of them are just like stat sticks or just have really long flavor text for the story. Where it's like a 2 cost that evolves, like on fanfare, just engages an enemy follower, and then evolves, becomes a 5/2. And it's like, what is this, set 1? Like,
that's pretty bad.
But you have like some generic search cards, like, the usual 1 cost amulet, top 3 for a Tokyo card. Engage this, pay 1, and banish this to like buff one of your followers and heal yourself 1 by 1/1. But Saito is the main cool card, I guess, where he's a 2 cost 2/2 that on fanfare looks at top 3, adds a Tokyo card to your hand, puts the rest of the bottom in the order. And that's basically an automatic 3 of, and anything that needs Tokyo, like especially Sword is like when you play a Tokyo follower, get a Giga counter, right?
Yeah, right. It's just the only reason why Dragon doesn't need it is because they have so much like duelist pulls anyway, and they run a lot of non-Tokyo cards too, so you don't play Saito. So
Yeah.
but yeah, every other Tokyo deck would just need this, right?
And his evolve is you choose one. Either you choose he's like you choose this spell from your cemetery and put it to your EX area, and its play cost becomes one less. Or you heal your leader 1 and put the top card of your deck into your cemetery. Or you banish a card from hand and draw 1. So it's like his evolve is kind of like okay. The spell that he generates is basically like a 1-cost, deals damage to enemy follower as a quick, but if you have him in play, he deals 1 to the enemy leader as well. So he's like pretty good. The neutral spells, I mean the neutral is basically just these cards over here. This Suzuki Hanzai, I think his name is. Bansai. He's like he clones himself, which is like his whole gimmick. He has like rush, assail, ward, start of end phase. He plays a copy of himself, which is literally just the exact same thing. And then the token plays a copy of itself, start of end phase. So they just keep cloning themselves as like 5/5s, but it's more of a meme card than anything.
It doesn't seem very good, but yeah, it is interesting. I think the Saito is just the big pickup from neutral, basically, right? And everything else is
yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you thinking about picking up cards, there's quite a few card shops that list up their prices that are easy to look at. So this is Grand Panda Canyon. This is one of the shops that has both mine and Igni's evolve points on display, I think.
Oh yeah, true.
And you can they still have playsets. So you can get a Force playset for 2,000 yen, Sword playset for 4,500 yen, Rune for 3,500. Dragon, you can see, is like double of everything, 11k. But Abyss is also 9,500. Haven is 3,000, and Neutral, of course, also 12,000. So you can see here the prices. Forest, very cheap, everything across the board. Sword is a bit on the midpoint side. Rune is on the cheaper end. Dragon dropped a lot. Release day, Eru was like 2,000 for the pre-evolve, 2,500 for the evolve. Basically down 1k on each. So I bought mine on release, so I paid the price, I guess, but no regrets. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then the other kind of pricey card, I guess, is the Vanya. So she's also.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then of course Saito, 3,300 a piece. The
evolved
one is very cheap, but the pre-evolved is pretty pricey.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
You can see some.
There you go. I mean, that's the Tokyo set. I mean, what out of these ones, like, what do you like? Like, which one's your favorite so far out of the
definitely Dragon. Dragon and Sword, I guess. Is just I haven't picked up the Seishiros yet, so I'm kind of waiting for like eventually, the next set will drop and then they'll get cheaper. So I'm not in a rush to play Sword this expansion. I just wanted to play Dragon because I have so many, like I have Galmio, I have 7 costs, and now I have Duelist, so I just have like Dragon lists and decks to to be happy with. And I didn't really get a chance to play with Latika too much last expansion, so I'm kind of like catching up on that too. So, and then for some reason picked up Uma Musume as well, which we'll talk about in your part of the podcast.
Yeah, that's coming soon. Sneak peek.
Yep. Hey. And then just before we close out things on my side and go into yours, short little comment corner just to wrap up from Risky Yardiancia 9,500. That was saying last time around, will we get Chris and Igni's Super Evolve points? That's a pretty cool question because Super Evolve is coming to English as well. We'll talk about that in the second half, but I think it'd be cool. It's kind of hard to like for us to have one of each of us, I guess, because it's it's horizontal, but
all of us holding hands.
Yeah, it could be. We do have it's like insider information. There is a picture of all 3 of us together with Kel, with our ambassador jackets that could be turned into Super Evolve points. So maybe if you guys make your voices heard to Bouchard and Side Games, maybe they'll make it happen for next year. Who knows?
Maybe that'd be fun. I would love that.
Right.
Then I get to get but it would make me feel a little egotistical to be running 3 regular evolve points of my face and then a super evolve point of also my face. But maybe I'll lean into it. That'll be my persona at the locals.
I never use my own evolve points, man. It's like it's kind of like it's like being camera shy. It's like I don't want to look at myself.
Right. Yeah, dude, for sure. Okay.
But yeah, I think that is all for my side. Sorry to keep you guys waiting on EX area for quite a bit. We'll try to be back in January. But that also means that this is the last episode of the year. But this is only the first half, because the second half you can watch on Igni's channel on YouTube, or if you're listening on any audio platforms, then just keep listening and we'll continue on. and talk about the English side of Shadowverse Evolve on Igni's side with all the recent releases and tournaments and all kinds of other interesting stuff. So look forward to that. Make sure you tune in on Igni's side if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, just keep on listening to hear some more.